What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to sharpen one of these reel mowers. It's not as hard as you think. Literally anybody can do this, so stick around. I'm going to show you how it's done. Alright, these are pretty easy to sharpen. Kind of the misconceptions that you take a file across each one of these to sharpen it, and that is not at all the case. So it's pretty easy. We just have to pop these wheels off, and basically what we're going to do is we are going to lap the surfaces on it. So we'll run it backwards, and I take the handle off. The handle went right here on these two pins. Take the handle off and I set it in my vise. Then I set everything corresponding to it onto the one side. You have this cog, just a plastic piece that's got gears on it that meshes with the wheel here on the inside. Then there's a little pin that you want to be careful not to lose. Grab a pair of small pliers. There's a little keyway, that guy right there, that's what catches in here and allows it to turn one way and not the other. So we'll do the same thing to this side. Basically, if you have a cordless drill at home, you can take care of these. So the customer brought this to me. They didn't know anybody that could sharpen these. So now this free spins either direction. So what I'll do, get a little brush. Just one of these little acid brushes. You get these at the hardware store. And I should, right here, some valve lapping compound. You can find this at any auto parts store. You can find it on Amazon. Basically what it is it's a paste with a very fine abrasive in it. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply a really thin coat to all may not even need this brush. This stuff's pretty thin. Some of it can be a little bit thicker and you might have to spread it on there. This is a pretty new bottle of it, or tube. Doesn't take a whole lot, it takes just a little bit, but you want to ensure that you have every one of them coated. You can start to hear that. That's that grit working in there. So I've already got it on all these. I'm just making sure I've got good coverage, because that's the key. I see any spots that look like it's kind of thin on. All right. So the one thing you want to do is you want to figure out which way was the way that this turned. And the simple way is put this gear back on. You can do this before you take it all apart, and I forgot. So free spins that direction and it cuts going on the down direction. So we want to turn this the other direction to sharpen. That was the whole reason that we took this off. So what we're gonna do, clean this grease off. You take a cordless drill. And now we are going to turn it in the forward direction and it's going to lap against this back cutting bar here. So it's going to be a little noisy, but we're going to do this for a little bit until we start to hear the difference in it. And we may have to reapply the lapping compound, and I'll show you how we'll test it. Obviously, you want to be very careful doing this. Do not stick your fingers or anything in here. But I'm looking at these, and I'm just looking at the grind pattern that this is going to put in. You can start to see that it's working. And obviously we could hear it. You don't hear it catching or grinding anymore. We've taken off just a very little bit of material. So we'll do one more application of this. You're starting to see these mowers come back in popularity. Gas prices being $4.40 a gallon. People are wanting to get in shape. This is a good alternative. These do a really good job. Plus it's pretty healthy for your grass to cut them with these, because these cut it versus shearing it off. You just take a little bit of time, apply this on there. You notice I took the battery out of my drill. It's really easy to do stuff safely. We can all cut corners, but this would be super easy to get your finger cut in here. I think we're pretty good. So we're just going to take some time, clean that lapping compound off. As the customer cuts their grass with this, there's still a little bit in there that it'll help keep it sharp and maintain the sharpness for a little while until all that compound is worn out of there. But you don't have to get it all out. It's going to actually help over time. Get in there with a scraper, get some of that built up grass and compound out of there. So a test to see if we need to adjust it and to see how sharp it is. Get some of this paper. So a way we can test this is we can take a piece of paper, like I get this Uline magazine. Seems like they ship one to me every other day. So I got plenty of this. It's really thin, and this is going to do two things. It's going to see if we need to adjust the cutting bar on it, and it's going to see if we got this sharp. So now we're going in the actual direction that you're going to push it to mow. So we'll go just really slow. And we'll see if that's tearing or if it's cutting. The center looked good. You want to be really careful doing this. So see right there, it's actually too much of a gap. And what had happened is we have actually taken that and we've lapped it away, so now we have a little bit of a gap in there. So that's what you got, two adjustments on each side, and that actually, it'll tip the blade one way or another. So we want to back that one off, then tighten this. It does not take much. We actually did too much on that. You can see I'm just making real fine adjustments, and I need to go back here, back that off a touch, and tighten this one, and that's tipping that blade a little bit forward, bringing it closer to the reel. Back that one off a touch. So now we'll take our paper again. You see, obviously, that is cutting on that side where it wasn't before. Again, I can't stress, be careful doing this. And that's cutting on that side. So that's how I test them. You could easily take it out to your grass, put it together, and verify that. Now this is tight fit on my drill. Warranty companies don't pay attention to that. So now we'll start reassembling, and we'll take, got some grease here somewhere. Put our keyway back in. And this is a little E-clip that's holding the wheel on. You just get it in there, you take a flathead screwdriver and press them in. Be careful not to launch it across the room. This is just some thin oil that'll work its way in. Because it's actually got quite a bit of grease still in it. About lost that one. Get that clipped in there. Some of these have covers on the outside. This one does not. You just replace those covers and you're all set to go. It's just a little bit stiff. So we'll give this front one just ever so slightly to turn. Just got to take a little bit of time and fine tune this. There we go. We just want to make sure it's got contact all the way across. And it does. We'll go ahead and get the handle put back in. All right, we got you guys all mounted up on the mower cam. Let's take it for a rip. So there you go, guys. That's just how easy it is to sharpen one of these. Very few materials, just a little bit of knowledge, and it's just as good as new. So basically anybody can do this as long as you have a drill, valve grinding compound, and just a little bit of time. That's all it took. And as you see, the results, cuts grass beautifully. So thanks as always for tuning in. If you hit that like, subscribe button for me, we greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.